Now we'll talk about why this solution is valuable. As we have seen in the machines example, what is the limitations on that, what is the challenges and what are the benefits here. And also we have seen some of the industries use cases, how we can use that. So again, with the help of this real-time intelligence, we can able to monitor what is happening on that particular machine on the real time, which is actually sending the information from the sensor to Azure IoT Hub. From there it goes to Fabric, KQL database, and then into Power BI report here. And also automation. With the help of Data Activator, one of the features in Fabric, KQL database, that Data Activator can actually track in the real time the threshold what you are keeping. If it is going up or down, it can send us an either email alert, or it can send us a Teams notification, or you can also integrate with Power Automate. That's what we have done on this video, so that it can also write back somewhere into database, or it can send you do this some other track, some other task what is not available on that particular tool. And scalability. With the help of Azure IoT and Fabric handle lot the scale of IoT devices, so there is no limitations on that. We can scale up as we grow, we can scale down as we go down. So it depends, right? Customization. With the help of KQL queries, we can customize based on our own rule what you want to track. There is no limitations on this particular thing. So now let's talk about some of the cool things, which is how this actually works. So before going into that in detail, let's understand this scenario. So some of the components what you need to have in order to work on this part. These are all some of the hardware features, which is sensor. So you need to detect the physical parameters like temperature, vibrations and pressure. There are different sensors available in the market, so it depends on your requirement what you need to have. You can just check with your industry providers, those who are providing this kind of sensors, and then you can just use that. And there is a microcontroller or the edge device, which is ARM device also you can say. So collects the data from the sensors and then it processes it. So it just read the data, binary data from these devices, and then it processes this information so that it can send it back to Azure so that we can analyze it further. The third thing is communication module, which is send the data from these IoT devices to Azure IoT Hub or other endpoints. If you have Amazon Kafka, or if you are using some other services, then you can also integrate with that. And cloud integration, the communication module connect to Azure IoT Hub or some similar cloud platform so that it can send the data on the real time here. So these are some of the hardware which you need. So now the next question is, are sensors built into the machines? So it depends actually, because if you are using a legacy machine which is like 40-50 years old, which is healthily running even today, then it may not have those functionality. If it is a recent machine, then most of the machines are inbuilt. We have sensors, so you can also directly use those sensors here. If it is not, then what to do? So you can also buy the sensor, you can also plug into the device to the machine actually, because this is not a device, small thing, it's a machine, plants and bigger in sizes. So you can also integrate this with two machines, and then we can send those information to the Azure, and then from there we can track that. It's not like we cannot able to track the old legacy machines. We can able to do that with the help of attaching additional external sensors. So basically how it looks like, it actually sends this in a JSON format where you can define these schemas how we want to do that. Here as an example, we have a device ID which is motor 1, temperature is in Celsius 75.4 and vibration is 2.1 Hertz and pressure is 12.5 in bars or PSI. That's the metric which they are unit. This is basically the units. And operational cycles, how many operations which is running up here, 300 cycles, and timestamp. So what is the time of that which it actually sends those information. This basically send all those informations in real time so that we can track this information. So now what are the steps you need to consider for this one? So there are certain things where you need to do that. For this particular demo, I am preparing this here. You can just run with the VS Code, which is a light version of Visual Studio. You can use that. And inside of that, you need to install two things. One is pip install Azure IoT device, because we are using Azure IoT here. And then you can test it out whether you have installed this or not. If it is not installed. If it is installed, then not an issue. You can directly go to the next step, which is in the Azure login portal. You need to log in over there, and then you need to create your subscriptions first, and then resource group, and then you need to create the resources. So what the resource is, which is IoT Hub, you can use the free itself. It actually sends like 8,000 sensor signals per day. I think that should be enough for a testing purpose. And you need to register your device. That's the kind of hardcore device, number one. And the next thing is you need to take the primary connection details from those devices, which is the host name and then the shared access key. So these are the things which is important so that you can add it into your VS Code Python application. Once you add those information, then it can start to sending the data from this Python code into Azure IoT Hub. For this demo, I'm not using any real hardware here. I'm just creating a virtual hardware, which is a Python script, When I run this one, it actually sends those information to this IoT hubs here. So once you are done with this data loading to Azure IoT Hub, now it's a time for Microsoft Fabric. So there are a lot of things which you need to create in Microsoft Fabric that we'll look into now after this slide, which is solution architect. If you like this video and if you want to continue this series, please let me know in the comment section below. Share this video with others, like this and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet.